What's going on, guys? CTG Matt back. You read the title. Today we're doing the NBA awards. Pretty straightforward. I did every NBA award, named my winner, gave 1 through 3. Pretty simple. We're going to get into it. We're going to start off with the boring awards and go into the bigger awards. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you enjoy the video, let me know what your picks would be down in the comments below if you disagree with mine. So to start the boring awards, we're starting off with maybe the least important award that they've ever created, which is the Clutch Player of the Year. I'm giving that to Trae Young. I don't know, the award doesn't really matter in my opinion, but he hit a pretty sick buzzer beater against Utah. He hit a pretty sick buzzer beater against Detroit. And then even the other buzzer beaters that have been hit by his Atlanta Hawks counterparts, guys like Caris LeVert, they were created by Trae Young. Obviously, you could be like, well, Caris, he drove to the basket on his against the Grizzlies. Yeah, it was created, though, because Trae Young was getting guarded at half court by Desmond Bane. It left kind of an easy driving lane for LeVert. I guess number 2 and number 3 I have here are Tyler Herro and who was the other one? Hold on. Tyler Herro and DeMar DeRozan, I guess. I don't know. Their clutch numbers are very good, and so I put them up here. I don't know. I think Trae Young I think he's deserving of it because he hit a couple of buzzer beaters. Again, I have no idea what the criteria for this award is. It doesn't really matter to me, but Trae Young's been good. His clutch stats are fine, and of course he's hit a couple of buzzer beaters. That always helps your case. And then Tyler Herro's clutch stats are really good too. But in my opinion, I don't know, man. I think Trae Young's just got it. I think it's also the creation factor, the fact that he creates looks for other guys too for game winners. I think that helps his case a little bit too. Again, this award really doesn't matter, though, so we can move on to the next one. NBA Sixth Man of the Year, bench scorer, white guy, famous white guy, P-Rabbit, Peyton Pritchard. I've been very anti-Peyton Pritchard Sixth Man of the Year for about a majority of the year, I'll say, and people are probably going to be like, why? Does he struggle against good teams? Yeah. Is he an absolute void on defense? Yeah. But is he necessary for the Celtics to be as good as they have been? Yeah. Is he the best bench shooter in NBA history statistically? Yeah. He broke the single-season record for three-point makes off the bench. I mean, that's a pretty simple one. That helps your case a lot whenever you're setting all-time NBA records for a full season, especially when there have been tremendous bench scorers in recent memory. Jamal Crawford, Lou Williams, guys like that. Of course, none of them have been the volume of from three as Peyton Pritchard has, but it's still impressive nonetheless. And Peyton Pritchard's counting stats aren't something to scoff at. 14 points per game, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, shooting 41% from 3. Absolutely lights out from downtown, not to mention the range he has. There's definitely value in that. There's a value in being able to stretch the defense to damn near half court. Speaking of half court, he's a maestro at hitting half court shots and buzzer beaters in general. They give him a lot of the end of quarter looks. It's like kind of a running gag in Celtics community that Peyton Pritchard's going to take a buzzer beater. He averages 4 rebounds per game, as I said a minute ago, but he also averages about 1.5 offensive rebounds per game. The guy's 6'1", $190. He's not a very big guy, but guess what? He's still in the paint, crashing the glass. Me and him are basically the same size. They mark him at 6'1", but I feel like that's a generous 6'1". I view him as closer to like a 5'11", 6-foot type of guy. He has the ability to keep his dribble alive for long periods. He's instant offense when he checks into the game, whether it's for him or for others. He has a nice pump fake that helps get defenders off their feet. He doesn't get a ton of fouls, which I think is kind of ridiculous. The one thing that he has to work on is his ability to take layups and get to the basket. Now, he's not that athletic, so of course he's not going to take a ton of layups. He doesn't get up very high, and he's already short to begin with. However, he needs to learn that it's just a race to the backboard. Once he blows by his defender, that's all it is. It's a race to the backboard. If you can lay it up and it hits the backboard, it doesn't even matter if it's going to go in. If it hits the backboard, the defender cannot block it. But those are things that he can always improve on later. I mean, he's gotten a lot better this season. He could be in most improved candidate type talks, but I don't think he's going to be, simply because he's already going to get this award for Sixth Man of the Year. There's no point in giving it to him for 2 awards, when in all reality, the guy who I picked for most improved player has probably improved more, in my opinion. But overall, Peyton Pritchard's been the most consistent, best bench player all season. DeAndre Hunter was in the running, but of course, him being traded to Cleveland kind of knocked his stats down a little bit because, yeah, he's playing with 4 other really good players. Well, like 6 other really good players, actually, because Ty Jerome and Max Strus, like, they have a lot of shot creators over there. His numbers don't pop like they did in Atlanta. My number 2 and my number 3 in Sixth Man of the Year, I have Malik Beasley at number 2. He's the only contender, in my opinion, for this award. Been fantastic. Spark plug, checks into the game, gets threes up. He's electric. That little dance he does after he makes threes is hilarious. Malik Beasley has been instrumental in the turning of the tides in Detroit. However, again, I just view Peyton Pritchard as the more consistent piece, and on top of that, Malik Beasley takes a lot of threes, but he still hasn't made more than Peyton Pritchard has. I think there's value in that. Number 3 and 6 man of the year, I have the Brody, Russell Westbrook. He might not qualify because he started a good amount of games this year, simply because of rest and Jamal Murray being ass at some moments, let's be frank. And Aaron Gordon being out. So, of course, Russell Westbrook's had plenty of opportunities to start, but he has come off the bench primarily. I don't know if he's going to qualify, but it's number 3 in 6 man of the year. No one's going to remember number 3 and 6 man of the year in 5 years. But what Russell Westbrook's done does deserve an honorable mention at least, because he has been super impressive for the Denver Nuggets. He does everything they need to. They were on a second leg of a back-to-back like 3 days ago after playing that 2 OT game. And Russ goes out there and puts up almost a 30-point triple-double on the second leg of a back-to-back without any other stars there. No Yoke, no AG, no Murray, no MPJ. I don't think any of them were there. And Russ was still able to get basically a 30-point triple-double. The guy goes out there, he hoops, he's knocking down threes now. I love Russell Westbrook. Shout out to him. But unfortunately, I do have Peyton Pritchard as the winner. Unfortunately for Russell Westbrook, that is. Now for NBA Rookie of the Year, I have Stephon Castle, and I don't know. It feels weird, but I have to. It's really hard. Zachary Risacher has made an absolute headlong push down the stretch of this season. He's been amazing for the last month or so. I disrespected him in a video almost a month ago now, it feels like. And I still feel really bad about it to this day. Obviously, I didn't say he was like a bust or anything like that, but I did not have him on the highest tier in my rookie rankings when I should have. I wasn't really paying as much attention to Atlanta as I needed to. And of recently, he's just been spectacular. He's putting it together. He looks more comfortable on an NBA floor, which is something you couldn't say to start the season. He looked like a rookie. You might even end up at a co-rookie of the year situation here simply because of how good Risacher, Jesus, has been down the stretch this season. I don't like ties. I chose to go with Castle. My rationale is simple in the fact that, well, Stephon Castle's just been better for the majority of the season. The last month, Risacher has been better than Castle. However, the rest of the season, Stephon Castle's been a better player. I'm choosing to give this award to the guy who's been consistently there all season and consistently pretty good all season over the guy who really started off kind of rough and picked it up in the back half. It's kind of like, does anyone remember Luka versus Trae in the Rookie of the Year debates? Trae Young picked it up at the end of the season. He started out terribly. Meanwhile, Luka was consistently good all year. Of course, neither one of these guys is on the level of Trae Young or Luka. One plays with Trae Young. That's pretty cool. But this isn't of the same caliber, but it's of the same feeling, where it's like one picked it up really late in the year while the other one was just consistently good all year. Also, this might be a little bit weird. It's kind of a tax on Risacher, which I don't like, but I kind of have to throw it in there. Zach Risacher is playing with Trae Young, who is maybe the best playmaker in the sport, maybe the best passer in the sport as well, up there with the Jokic's and stuff like that. So that kind of does hurt Risacher a little bit. He's playing with a playmaker who can get him open looks consistently. Meanwhile, who the hell is Stephon Castle playing with? Chris Paul and Harrison Barnes? It's not pretty down there without Fox or Wemby. The guys who were supposed to get Stephon Castle open looks aren't there anymore, and so Stephon Castle's meant to do it himself. Now, over the last month, since March 1st, Stephon Castle's averaging 19, 5, and 5. Very respectable numbers on 45, 31, 70 splits, which aren't pretty, but again, he's a year one guard. Splits aren't going to be there usually anyways. 19, 5, and 5 for over a calendar month is very impressive work from a rookie point guard who was considered more developmental offensively. We knew he had the defensive upside because at UConn, he was just elite defensively. But we knew that there was going to be some struggle offensively, and it's come in the form of inefficiency. However, I'm going to be frank, nobody in this rookie class has been efficient at all, so I can't kill one for efficiency when realistically the whole class hasn't been efficient. Fun fact, over that same stretch, Castle's also averaging about 2 offensive rebounds per game as well. He's showing his value. He's getting down in the paint more. He's having high assist games. He had like a 14 assist game the other day, 15 rebound game like 2 days ago. You know, Stephon Castle has put together a consistently solid rookie season. I'm going to give it to him. Yeah, Zach Risacher is an incredible talent, and I hate that I have to pick Stephon Castle over him simply because of how good he has been. I just really want to give him his flowers for a pieced together well rookie season for a guy who the media, not people who were watching, not me, a lot of the mainstream media damn near called him and Sarr busts like a month into their careers, which was just flat out ridiculous. So I'm glad to see that they're hooping. Number 2 is obviously Zach Risacher, if my winner's Stephon Castle. And then number 3, I could have put Jalen Wells. I was thinking about Zach Edey. I'm going to put Alex Sarr. He's been very good down the stretch as well. Somebody's going to complain about it, but dog, 3rd in Rookie of the Year doesn't matter at all. But I chose Alex Sarr because he's been very good. Obviously, you know, he's kind of in a tie. That 3 spot is very congested. It's Alex Sarr, it's Jalen Wells, it's Zach Edey, and I feel like I'm missing one more in there. But either way, it's a backloaded, it's a loaded class full of like, he's all right type of players. Obviously, for career path-wise, I don't know how any of these guys' careers are going to really pan out. Zach Risacher might not have Trae Young to get him some open looks next season if Trae Young gets shopped. And then for Stephon Castle, where's his career going to go? He gets to play with De'Aaron Fox, Victor Wembanyama, and a couple 2 high usage guys at that, and Fox and Wemby. Where does he fit into that? I don't know. But as for right now, I'm choosing Stephon Castle to win Rookie of the Year. But shout out to Zach Risacher. Shout out to Alex Sarr. Shout out to Zach Edey. Shout out Jalen Wells. This has been a very good draft class for what was expected. NBA Most Improved Player Award, I'm giving it to Dyson Daniels. I know that's what the betting odds say, but this is like the one time betting odds got it completely right, in my opinion. I think Dyson Daniels deserves it the most. By just plain old statistical increases, Dyson Daniels has upped his points by 9 points per game, upped his rebounds by about 2 per game, upped his assists by about 1.5, closer to 2. And the whole time he's been more efficient than ever. His 3-point percentage went from 31% to 35% this year. His field goal percentage went from 45% to 49% this year. He's been more efficient and he's scoring more. That's impressive. And of course, the thing that everyone knows about Dyson Daniels, he is the Great Barrier Thief. He's Mr. Pickpocket. He's Mr. Theft. I don't know how else to describe it. He's the steal artist. Anyone thought of the nickname Ocean's 5? It's a heist movie, and Dyson Daniels, all he does is steal the ball. I don't know. Feels like a pretty decent nickname. His steal numbers went from 1.4 to 3.1 per game. 3.1 steals per game, by the way. Absurd number. No one's even close to that. He's going to average over 3 steals per game on the season. By far, one of the most ridiculous things I've seen in a long time. He's stapled himself as maybe the best perimeter defender in basketball this year, at least. He's going to make an all-defensive team. He's going to get some Defensive Player of the Year conversations around him, rightfully so. He's been very good in his role. He's proven his worth. He's shown that maybe he could be the future too next to a guy like Trae Young if they even choose to keep Trae Young. But even if they don't keep Trae Young, look at that defensive lineup they have with Dyson Daniels, Zach Risacher, Onyeka Okongwu. Like, those are 3 switchable guys who can guard damn near 1 through 5. And this guy felt like the filler to me of that trade for DeJounte to the Pelicans. I figured, okay, it's a high upside, low cost type of guy in Dyson Daniels. And then the pick. The picks were big, but Dyson Daniels has shown to be maybe the best player in that trade. I will not be taking that back. He jumps passing lanes. He picks pockets. I mean, we talked about the Caris LeVert game winner earlier. How did Caris LeVert get that game-winning Euro step layup? It was off Dyson Daniels pickpocketing Desmond Bane. Desmond Bane's a very low center of gravity type of guy, so you don't see him get picked very often like that. But Dyson Daniels just makes it look easy. It doesn't matter if he's guarding Jason Tatum or Jason Maxiell. He's not in the league anymore. But either way, it doesn't matter. He's probably going to steal the ball from you. A super impressive jump for a guy who, like I said, I thought was just a trade filler, a nice little piece that could potentially come off the bench. Instead, he's proven that he can be a legit player in this league. Let's say he gets that 3-point percentage up to like 37%. You're talking about one of the elite role players in basketball, maybe the best role player in basketball. Now we can talk about some honorable mentions. My number 2 pick for most improved player is Ty Jerome, a guy who's come out of nowhere. Of course, he was very good at Virginia. However, in the NBA, he's kind of just been, kind of a forgotten thought. He's had some good moments with like Golden State and stuff. However, it has never been sticky and consistent. This year, it has been super consistent. He's been very good. He was getting 6th Man of the Year buzz at some points. He's had just a very impressive season. I view Ty Jerome as a potential even winner for Most Improved Player, but I don't see him getting any buzz for it when in my opinion, he should. This is a guy who was almost out of the league, in my opinion. He was running out of time in the league at least. And this season, he's just completely flipped his career upside down. The guy's going to end up getting a decent-sized bag eventually when he needs one. I hate that Most Improved Player odds have Cade Cunningham at 2. I'm looking at them right now. That makes me mad. Cade Cunningham was a freaking #1 overall pick, was considered a generational player coming out of Oklahoma State, and he's turned into a generational player, one of the best in the league. Who'd have thought? That's a real sick take. Yeah, it's ridiculous. JJ Redick's right when he said it should go to the guy with the most money, or getting paid a max contract, who became an all-star, whatever. That's why my number 3 pick in Most Improved Player is Christian Braun. I did not view him as a real player for the Denver Nuggets. I viewed him as like a fun bench piece, and instead he's become one of their more reliable players. He runs the break real well. He has hops for a white guy. He can knock down the 3. Sometimes it fades in and out. Sometimes teams just let him shoot and leave him wide open. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But he's still rounding into the player that he wants to be. He's also a really good perimeter defender still. He gets out on the break well, and I just love seeing him out on the break because he can run. He has some juice. NBA Coach of the Year voting, I have Ime Udoka as the winner. I don't really see him getting any buzz, in my opinion, but overall, right now, the Houston Rockets are the 4th best team in basketball, and if you asked me preseason would I think that the Rockets would be the 4th best team in basketball, I might have laughed. Realistically, it's a 2-horse race in my mind between number 1 and number 2, but I wanted Ime to win it, honestly, because think about it. Do the Houston Rockets have a top-level star? No. They don't even have a household name. As much as I love Alperen Sengun, and he's a very great player at what he does, great passer, one of the best passing bigs in the NBA, who's actually not even that bad of a defender, he's not a household name. Jalen Green is not a household name. Even though Jalen Green, the highlight machine, is an amazingly fun player to watch, he's not a household name. Fred VanVleet is not a household name. Ausar Thompson might have the biggest name on the team, and he's not even their best player. At the beginning of the year, as I said before, I would have never predicted them to win 50 games. They've won 50 games. They can mess around and almost win like 53 games this year. That's a really good improvement and a really good record for a team that wasn't even in the play-in last year, I don't believe. Ime's made this team fun. They get out on the break and they play elite defense. Some of the best I've ever seen. They have so many wings that they could throw at every player. You have a speedy guard. All right, we'll throw Ben Thompson on him. You got a big wing. All right, here's Dylan, Tari, Jabari. See them. There's no true number 1 option on offense. It's not like a Jokic or a Shea where the ball touches their hands every possession. It's offense by committee. Who's hot today? Freddie can give you 35. Jalen can give you 35. Alperen can get you 35. Alperen can even get you 15 assists. But at the end of the day, it's whoever's hot is getting the ball. Ime Udoka has helped unlock a version of this Houston Rockets team that I didn't even see coming, honestly. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think that this team wins 50-plus games if Stephen Silas is still the damn coach. Let's just look at each other face-to-face and say that. Stephen Silas ain't winning 50 games with this roster. He's not. I'm sorry. Ime Udoka is, because he's got them all bought into what he wants this team to be. And I don't like that I had to give shots to Stephen Silas to prop up Ime Udoka, but he was not a good coach. Oh my God, that was brutal to watch. But either way, I believe Ime Udoka should be Coach of the Year, man. I know he's not a hot pick, and I don't even know if he's in the odds. Let me go check. As I look at it right now, this is on FanDuel. I believe I see Kenny Atkinson, JB Bickerstaff, Mark Daignault, JJ Redick. Ew, JJ Redick. No. Yeah, Mark Daignault's up there. Yeah, I don't see Ime Udoka. And I think Ime Udoka should be thrown in here. Forbes, what do they got? Kenny Atkinson, JB Bickerstaff, Taylor Jenkins. That's not going to happen. JJ Redick, Ime Udoka at plus 6,600. 6,600 for Ime Udoka, and Mark Daignault's at plus 10,000. Yeah, just view that Ime Udoka needs more respect for what he's done this year. As a Celtics fan, I've seen it before. When they buy into that Ime defensive scheme and that Ime defensive system, man, it is some of the most fun basketball you will get to watch. Rockets fans, you have a bright future, and you're already winning. Feels good. At number 2 in Coach of the Year, I have Kenny Atkinson. Pretty straightforward. That's the other horse in this race. Again, it's another one where it's like, if you asked me at the beginning of the season, would I expect the Cavs to be a 60-win team who rattled off, 2 15-plus freaking win streaks? No. Straight up no. At the beginning of the season, I can even show you, if you want, the video where I believe I said that the Cavs are nothing but a 4 seed again. And instead they blew out the East. They're the second best team in the league. So, yeah, it's Kenny Atkinson, bro. He's unlocked Darius Garland. He's got Evan Mobley hooping. Ty Jerome has become a feature player under him. Kenny Atkinson's done a lot with this roster. Number 3, because it really doesn't matter, I'm just giving my top 3. Realistically, it could be JB Bickerstaff, but for me, I put Jason Kidd simply because he hasn't ended his own life yet. I think that's impressive. The fact that they've taken everything from him, a healthy roster, out the window, the best player on the team, out the window, Quentin Grimes even out the window, and yeah, he still has will to live. It's pretty impressive what he's done. Moving on to Defensive Player of the Year, I have Evan Mobley. I know Draymond's the betting favorite. Pardon my language. That's bullshit. I get it. Over the last 15 games, the Golden State Warriors defense has been some of the most elite, but they had a Jimmy Butler, who is another elite perimeter defender. I get it. Draymond and the Warriors have been very great defensively over the last 15 games. However, my brother in Christ, Evan Mobley has been elite all season. Why are we just washing the fact that Evan Mobley's been an elite defender all season for a 15-game sample of Draymond Green plus a podcast clip of him saying he should win it? Of course Draymond's saying he should win it. He can't give credit to anyone else. God, my respect for Draymond Green can't get much lower. But anyways, the Cavs block rate goes up 3% with Evan Mobley on the floor. Opponent offensive rating goes down 3% with Evan Mobley on the floor as well. Or goes down 3 points, not 3%. You get the point. Evan Mobley is elite at contesting without fouling. He uses his length to bother shooters. He's currently the only player in the NBA averaging 1.5 blocks or more with less than 2 fouls per game. That's kind of a crazy stat. He's also a great rebounder now, which counts for defense. He's averaging 10 rebounds per game, and I know some people don't want to hear rebounding stats when you think of defense, but part of defense is closing the possession. How do you close a defensive possession? A rebound. Ask Taurean Prince how you rebound. Opponent points per 100 possessions goes down 5 whole points when Evan Mobley checks into the game. Which is good enough for the 87th percentile. I don't know what more to tell you. He's top 5 in shots contested per game. He has one of the highest plus-minuses in the league. I believe that's also in the top 5. There's nothing more I can say. Evan Mobley is the Defensive Player of the Year. I had Jaren Jackson at midway through the season. However, I kind of started realizing Jaren ain't rebounding, and I like the fact that Mobley rebounds as well as contests. Cavs are one of the best defensive teams in the league despite having 2 guards who aren't good defensively. I love Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland for what they are, but what they are not is elite defenders, and we aren't going to sit here and pretend like they're good defenders either. When the Celtics play the Cavs, they run one play, and it's fullback dive down Darius Garland's throat every play. And the only way they stop it is when Evan Mobley shuts the water off. Evan Mobley's a crazy defender. He's a switchable guy. He can damn near do 1 through 5. He can dance with a guard here and there. I'm not saying put him on an island with a guard for 48 minutes and tell him go, but if he gets switched onto a guard, he's capable. At number 2 in Defensive Player of the Year, I have Jaren Jackson Jr. I believe he deserves more credit. He's a great rim protector. Playing next to Zach Edey definitely helps a little bit. I like that they're running that double big lineup because Jaren's deficiency is rebounding. He can't rebound. That's just his thing. However, he gets stocks, steals, and blocks. He does commit a ton of fouls. That's an absolute lie. He still fouls a good amount. But blocks, gets steals, good 1 through 5 defender. He can score a little bit. Obviously, that doesn't matter for Defensive Player of the Year, but I think it's impressive the fact that he's impressed me more on the offensive side this year, but has still kept the same defensive intensity. I believe he deserves some flowers and respect for that. Then we could throw Draymond Green in there. I don't know how he can even come out of this in first place. I think this is the most ridiculous thing I've seen in a long while. If Nikola Jokic started a podcast today and said, I'm the MVP, do you think his odds would change to him being a minus 40,000? No, probably not. But Draymond gets to say it, and all of a sudden, oh, here we go. I don't care about a 15-game sample. I care about an 82-game sample. And who's been elite for 82 games? Evan Mobley. And finally, the NBA MVP award. As we've all been waiting for, I have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. It's not the sexy pick. The sexy pick is Yoke because he fills up box scores. I chose Shai, though. Best player. Best team, 38 or 32.8 per game. 33 points a freaking game, guys. 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 1.7 steals, 1 block. That's 2.7 stocks for a guard. 52, 37, 90 splits. efficient as ever, but even better from the three-point line now than last season. Yeah, it helps his effective field goal percentage and true shooting as well, the fact that he's making more threes. Get it, guys. You might be a little bit annoyed by free throws. Don't get me wrong, he's played the Celtics twice. I know his antics. He flopped on Peyton Pritchard for Christ's sake. Right, I get it, free throws are annoying, but I've watched so many other elite players do the same thing and win MVPs off that. Dwayne Wade, KD, James Harden, Joel Embiid. These guys have become all-time great players, and the whole time they've foul baited for a majority of their careers. For Christ's sake, D. Wade was one of the reasons they stopped calling the rip-through foul for a while, because that's literally all he would do for 48 minutes is rip-through. D. Wade was elite at that, and then he'd make the shot after, it'd count for 3. It became ridiculous, all right? Elite players have been getting free throws since the beginning of time. You can go back and watch clips of Jordan foul baiting, for Christ's sake. I'm sure John Havlicek foul baited once or twice. He has the best team in a tough Western Conference, and it's not even close. Not even close. There isn't a team within 10 games, I don't believe, of him. All right, they're not even close, and I know that team is deep, but he is their leader. And like I said, his defense isn't always great. His individual defense is spotty at times, but he's proven to be at least a net neutral this year. 2.7 stocks per game from a point guard is pretty impressive, all things considered. He's a little bit skinny for his size, so of course, bigger players are going to kind of bowl him over down low. However, he's still respectable enough to be able to stay on the court. He's not a void. If you look at his shot chart, you'll start to notice that most of his makes are from the left side. As a defender, you might need to start moving him to the right. I know he's probably going to make that shot too, but hey man, if the left side of the court is a red zone, even if he makes a shot from the right side, just don't let him to the left. I know that's a lot easier said than done, and I bet a lot of top executives in the NBA probably have thought of the same thing. However, I don't know. That's just what you have to do. There's also a real chance Shea breaks Wilt Chamberlain's records for consecutive 20-plus point games. He needs 11 more, and come playoffs, he could do that. First-round matchup, let's say, against, I don't know, Sacramento or Dallas or something. He could do that. Historic scoring season for the Aura God, whatever you want to call him. I don't like free throws as much as the next guy, but like I said, every elite player takes a bunch of free throws. It has been that way since the freaking beginning of time, guys. You just need to get over it. He deserves MVP. He gets buckets. Donovan Mitchell out-meated him in the Skims competition. If you don't know about that one, don't even... I'm sorry you missed out on a great time. On to the honorable mentions. Number 2 is obviously Nikola Jokic. I mean, the guy's efficient as hell. 60-point triple-double just the other freaking day. He impresses you in just about every way you can imagine. Of course, people are going to say he's bad at defense. Yeah, but Shea won MVP, and he's not great at defense either. So it doesn't really matter, all things considered. And if you really cared about defense in MVP discussions, Jason Tatum would be number 1, but we won't talk about that. Did I say most improved player? I meant most valuable player. Either way. Number 3 is Jason Tatum. Best player on, in my opinion, one of the best 3 teams in basketball still. Tatum's a rare guy that can basically guard 1 through 5. And I know some nerds in the comments will be like, no, he's not. Brother, they put him on Gafford and Lively in the finals. He guarded Miles Turner in the Eastern Conference Finals. He guarded Jared Allen in the semifinals. What more do you want from him? And I get it. It's by design because a lot of these guards, Donovan Mitchell, Tyrese Halliburton, Andrew Nembhard, all those guys, they like to run screens, and then it becomes even more switchable because, hey, Jason Tatum's guarding Miles Turner. So now when Andrew Nembhard comes off the screen and there's a switch, Jason Tatum's now guarding Andrew Nembhard, and he's still good enough to guard that. But he's very good at guarding big men. He's strong, and I think people underrate that about him. But, of course, Jokic at number 2. He could easily go number 1. I think voters' fatigue kind of got in my way. I'm sorry. I think it did. And I know that's not really popular to say, but Jokic has won a lot of them, man. One more MVP isn't changing him all time, in my view. He's not. A ring would definitely change it more than an MVP would, in my eyes. And if you're Nikola Jokic, your energy and time shouldn't even be wasted on MVP. It should be about the playoffs and the playoffs only. And for Jokic, maybe it's trying to figure out how to lose in the playoffs so that way you can go visit your horses. Because, you know, the real MVP to Nikola Jokic is horse number 5. I don't know what their names are. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe. Maybe share with a friend if you feel like it. And I can do all NBA teams and all defensive teams. That would take me a little bit longer, but if y'all enjoy this video, I will go back and do it. That does not bother me. Just show me by liking the video, commenting, and subscribing. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to go catch a game. See you guys in the next one.